Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to our first round 2 losers bracket match between Dounlode and Majarkin. We have Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, for you today. I feel like I played this when I was younger, but I'm joined by Vi, who has played this a lot more recently.
Yes, and I wouldn't have played it back then, as I just looked it up. This game came out within a week of like my birth, so like actually it was super close to my birthday. The release of this game in the EU, or like my actual date of birth.
Oh, we might have Dounlode stream. I'm just gonna refresh that. Just gonna refresh that one and see if it works.
But yeah, this is one of those early defining 3D platformers of that like N64 PS1 era. It came out after Mario 64, but one of the early ones for PlayStation anyway.
There were definitely like 3 big early PS1 platformers. Crash Bandicoot is kind of the one that stuck. Like that's the one that lasted. I guess Spyro's in that mix as well actually, so 4. And then Croc and Gex were the 2 that people kind of forgot about over time. But their goal is to beat Libby, which is fairly early, but, you know, it's there. And I guess I will roll the audio on this end and have Majarkin's audio on, and I will wish them good luck.
Amazing.
Get them going in the race.
So yeah, I was definitely more of a Super Mario 64 kid because my family didn't really have a PlayStation. So playing this was very interesting because it was developed to be able to be played with a D-pad, right? Because the first controller, as far as I understand it, for the PlayStation 1 didn't have any analog sticks, right? Is that true?
I can't remember if it didn't have them or if they were just bad, but yeah.
So yeah, this plays a little differently. Croc here, our main character, I believe. I know nothing about this game. I just played it. Has tank controls basically, so you can move forward and backwards, but that's in relation to whatever direction Croc is currently facing, and then pressing left turns you on the spot leftwards, or like counterclockwise, and right turns you clockwise.
The goal is definitely
getting used to.
It's an early boss, and the whole point is that, you know, these are meant to be short challenges. They're not meant to be doing the entire game or anything, but I'm kind of surprised neither of them have played this, but I'm kind of glad neither of them have played this, because this feels a little bit different to a lot of what's come up in the tournament so far. We do have the stats on the screen for their previous games, by the way, and they've had pretty similar runs through the tournament, as you can see. Most notably, they were in the same group, and the 2 joint third places that Majarkin had were 2 double forfeits, where Majarkin's game crashed. So technically, Dounlode is 3-2 over Majarkin so far, but in games that they both finished, Majarkin is 2-1 over Dounlode. So definitely a close contest for them.
Absolutely. I'm super excited. Both of these players definitely people I've been watching out for a little bit longer, and I'm glad that they're still both in the tournament. And we're seeing their fight here for survival. Yeah, by the way, end of the stage, hit the gong with your attack. You have a little attack. It's you know, it's a little bit like Super Mario Brothers 3, the raccoon tail. And a little less like Super Mario World's cape, with which I'm trying to say it feels a little bit short range and unreliable. But you know, it does get the job done. You do a little spin with your tail. The enemies are defeated, And you do also have a ground pound, which is necessary to get into, for example, what Downlode's doing right here, into that like little well there, which just contains a mini game. And the first part of this, I assume, or at least this was what it was like for me, was trying to figure out what even is something like what are the things you even have to do in the stages to advance, because there's a lot of optional stuff.
Yeah, I assume this minigame isn't necessary for anything?
Correct. All you have to do is you have to get to the end of the stage and hit the like gong or whatever, like the big, yeah. And they'll place a lot of stuff on the way there, but you want to ignore basically all of it.
Majarkin going in as well, so no time. I was gonna say no time gained or lost. I guess they both lost around the same amount of time to this.
I got confused here too, but the button activates this platform that goes up and down. It takes a second to come down, and there you go. Just go to the end, hit that with your tail, and you're moving on to the next stage. That's all the game is, but it does take you a second to figure out that that's all you have to do. And there's one stage in particular where I got stuck for like 2 minutes because I couldn't figure out what it was that you had to do. I'm really curious to see how these players will deal with that same section, whether I was just stupid or they will have the same issue. Honestly, despite the fact it has tank controls, which does make platforming a little bit unintuitive, I do like, at least like the game does have like you can hang on to ledges if you miss your jump slightly, kind of like in Super Mario 64 as well, which sometimes saves your life. And the mid-air control is okay. Like, you can steer your jump in all 4 directions, or all 8 directions, I guess, in mid-air decently well to adjust your jump, which is good. Download on the first the first boss here, at the end of the 3rd or 4th stage, I can't remember. What a goofball.
This game looks terrible and amazing, and I can't quite tell which, but yes, one of them. Oh, Majarkin doing some optional content, I think. I don't think we saw that from Downlode, although I might be wrong.
No, we did, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or something similar, at least.
Oh, yeah, okay, I definitely remember this.
So the strange part about this boss, and yeah, is kind of a quirk about this game's bosses that I discovered, or that took me a second to get used to as well. They aren't always, you can't always damage them. They're only damageable if they're in some like sort of like exhausted animation. Like they do an attack, and then after that attack they stop it dead in their tracks. On the Majarkin side, you saw it, and do some sort of idle animation, and only during that idle animation can you actually damage them, but they don't change visually in any other way than that. So that was a little bit unintuitive for me, who's used to modern games where bosses will like change color if you can hit them and stuff like that. I guess that wasn't what this era was about of gaming.
I'm just glad we'll get to see the enemies on the way to the boss again, because I swear to God, like, they were fighting Elmo. Yeah. Oh, Downlode picking up everything in this room now.
Yeah.
Majarkin still just racing through.
As from what I could gather, yeah, we're still doing good for sure. As far as I could tell, the health system, and this is basically literally the same as Sonic. So you have those little orbs there, or whatever, the gems, and if you get hit, you lose all of them, and they drop on the ground, and then you can pick some of them up, but and only if you get hit while having 0 of them do you actually die. So it's literally just the Sonic ring system all over again.
Oh, and Majarkin just actually ran so quickly through that area that he's actually got to the boss again before Download, so all of that time that Download had earlier has been lost picking up a bunch of, like, collectibles along the way. Okay, looks like Download's at least figured out when he can attack here, but just lost his last gem doing that. Oh, these hitboxes look... Oh, that was it. That Majarkin's through. Okay.
There you go. 3 hits is all it takes. There you go. Is that the last hit on Download side too? Yeah. No, it isn't.
Oh,
one more.
I think.
It's still on 0 gems.
And trying to attack all the time, which is dangerous. Oh.
Oh, there you go. That's it?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. Alrighty.
Okay, both of them through. It's still a very tight race here. Let's see who does better in the coming... Oh, this is the stage where I got stuck for a while, I think. Let's see. Chat, try to spot what you have to do.
People who don't know the game already.
Yeah, of course.
Specifically.
Also depends on, when it shows up on either of their screens, but yeah. And Majarkin gets it so much faster than I did. That is a climbable surface. A mechanic which I just didn't even know existed, and the wall, to me, it looks barely different.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see struggling with that one. I can definitely understand struggling on that.
Well, I mean, I got it eventually, but it took me a second. But yeah, or like it took me like I went into the other room like twice looking for other stuff. And it seems like Download's having a similar problem here, not realizing it's getting the key. The key doesn't do anything. From up here, maybe he will see that there's another door that you can get to. But this might be where Download loses a lot of time. We'll see.
Yeah, no, Majarkin just instantly saw the difference and was like, can I do something with this? And just runs at it and gets up. Download, I think, has a habit. Like, when Download's fundamentals in these games are really, really good. Like, he's clearly very quick at picking up a game and just, like, doing difficult things quickly. But then something like this will come up that's, like, a little bit unintuitive, and he will get stuck far longer than most people, I think. And that's kind of, like, almost the weak link. Oh, he's seen it. He's just gotta... There we go.
So Download's playthrough looking a lot like my playthrough of this right now. So we'll see.
The lava being insta-kill feels harsh.
It's not quite. You will bounce on it one time, kind of.
Oh, Majarkin just hit it with 5 gems and just like fell.
Oh, interesting. No, you do bounce up one time and then, but you just don't get any invincibility frames basically. So as soon as you hit the lava again, you're dead. Download using the key.
Thank you, FQ. Appreciate it.
Optional area.
Oh, okay. I saw the bounce there on Download side, but not Majarkin's earlier. I wonder if there's like different ones for like different.
Maybe.
Oh, well, that was an optional area, so.
I do like the music a lot in this game.
This stage, this music right now is so comfy.
Majarkin just flying through the game right now. Absolutely rolling through it.
Just has not slowed down at all, and oh. I was like, alright, which direction are you meant to go in? Turns around and one's just like a sheer drop. It's like, probably not that one.
Yep. That's not the one. If we're talking about fundamentals, though, some of the later stages in this world do test your raw platforming ability, especially with these controls, a little bit more. So, if we're thinking that Downlode is better at those, and maybe he has some chances there to catch up, but who knows? Not like Majarkin's no slouch either here.
Like, we touched on it earlier, Majarkin definitely had a bit of a rough run through the groups, having 2 games crash and just, like, forfeiting those. So, like, the seedings in this tournament are not exactly, you know, a perfect telling story of how good or bad the players are at these games. But if anybody is, like, definitively underseeded, it is Majarkin, who narrowly made it in as, like, the lowest seed, I think.
Majarkin basically a full stage ahead at this point. Gotta get through this last part, though, and the platform here ain't easy. The last boss is a little bit janky as well, at least from my experience.
Oh. Don't land on Elmo.
You only get 3 attempts, and then it's like if you die, you go to the back. It's the start of the room, but if you go game over, you go back to the start of the stage. So there is definitely some room to catch up here if Majarkin takes a lot of time getting past these more difficult platforming challenges that the game is starting to throw
Fight
at
Night
him.
with Libby.
Okay.
Downlode got a little lucky on that one. It looks like Elmo.
Jarkin doing something here that I did as well, breaking these boxes because they do have gems inside of them, which will at least save you from dying to the enemies.
Yeah, at least 1 box you probably want, right? Oh. Doesn't stop that one. What?
Oh, I didn't see this. Is this some sort of shortcut?
No, that would be my guess now. Oh, cool. What?
Amazing. Let's see if Majarkin continues to go for that, but I'm guessing no. That's a bonus area, I see. Which also means that Downlode is basically caught up now. Well,
yeah,
still needs to go through all the stage transitions and stuff, but there you go. Starts the level that Majarkin is just starting as well, although Majarkin has a little bit more experience.
yeah.
Only with the first room, though. There's still another room, and then there's the boss, so...
A little bit more knowledge of Fight Night with Flibby. Why is it called Flibby?
Who knows? Okay, Majarkin making it to the next room here. This room I didn't find too difficult, personally. The platforms do line up nicely. Ooh,
Big, like, Mario Sunshine memories here.
Majarkin's playing it super carefully now. Has Downlode game overs. Okay, yeah, Kari, I did try to set that up actually, and I was surprised that it didn't work with the DualShock at all. But I guess it came out before, so. Does Majarkin understand? Okay, that's the out of breath animation, and then understands that he has to ground pound. He has all the knowledge now. There are another couple of attacks, but immediately understanding the assignment. this attack. After this attack, he is not attackable. Ah, okay, yeah. Majarkin gets baited by that. It is only that one specific attack that results in him being exhausted. It does look really strange as well. Looks like Dounlode's gonna be making it to the last boss as well here, but needs kind of a miracle now. Majarkin would have to lose. Oh no! That's all the gems gone. Oh no, they just cursed Majarkin.
Is...
Commentator's curse. Oh no! Oh, this is looking good. Don't
is
fuck
it
it
3?
Up. Oh yeah. Oh no! Can't get.
Made
yes! It. There you go.
Flippy down.
That's the game. GG's
all right.
to Majarkin.
Wow. Cool. All right. I that was a little shorter than expected.
I definitely took a little bit longer than this, like 20 minutes or so. I also wasn't, in the race setting, but
Freya and Apollo coming to celebrate as well. Alrighty. This was fun. I'm sure they'll have different thoughts on that. We'll see if we can get them in.
Absolutely.
Alright, you'll get Majarkin in with us. I should... wait. Before that, I should cut Majarkin's audio so that we don't get doubles, just in case. And say hi. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Congrats.
Thanks. Wow, that camera. That's all I've got to say. The rest of it is fine, but oh my god, that camera.
Yeah, the line controls are not the nicest.
It reminded me of Spyro a lot.
Yeah, it's fair. Like, we were saying earlier, there are kind of like a few big PS1 platformers. Spyro and Crash Bandicoot aged pretty well, generally remembered pretty fondly. Croc and Gex a little less so. And now I can see why. Like, these controls at least look awkward.
It took me a little. That last level, I was like, "How the heck do I jump over there?" And your hitbox when you're doing the attack in the air it just lasts forever.
There are definitely a couple points where it looked like there was a lot of potential to get stuck, and you just kind of got through with no issues. Spotting the climbing wall.
Well, I went, where do I go? And then I went, okay, let's go back. And then I went, oh yeah, there's a climbing wall.
Download definitely took a little bit longer to figure that out. Went back into the other room, like this little side room, like an extra time, and tried to figure out whether there was something in there. Tried to hop on top of that box that was in there, and only very late. Oh, there!
Hello, hi.
There he is. Hello.
Hello.
GG.
GG.
So we were just saying, the tank controls seem like they would take a little bit of getting used to.
Yep, they're not even so much tank controls. Like they're almost tank controls. You've only got forward, backward, and spin.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little bit of strafe on left and on L and R, but it's not much.
Not really. Yeah.
That was the worst part.
Yep. There were a couple of parts where I got slightly lost, and then I came back out of a room, and I was like, "Oh, the gong is there." Okay.
Yeah. The one of the biggest differences was Majarkin took like 30 seconds to find that wall that you can climb.
Yeah.
And you took like 2, or something like that. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it was a very big difference where Majarkin was
I
just
thought
like,
you, I thought you were
"Oh,
going to
you
say I
can
took a
climb
lot
that."
longer than he did because I remember I saw in the pace bin, okay, you can climb holes with walls in them, and I was looking for them, and I didn't recognize that as a wall with holes in it that I could climb.
Yeah.
I didn't either when I walked past it, and then I'm like, well, I can't jump to that block in that room. What do I do? So I went back
Yep.
out, and I'm like, there's nowhere to go. So I turned back around to go back in the room, and I saw the wall, and I went, oh, glad I read the pace button. So
Yeah.
Yeah, for what it's worth, like, Download, you had a really early lead as well, but you just were way more thorough about collecting, like, gems and going off to, like,
Well,
side
because
rooms and stuff.
I wasn't trying to go off the side rooms,
Well,
but
yeah,
the
sure.
gems was for the like Sonic style health, where like if
Yeah.
you run out of gems and you get hit, that's it. So I tried to keep a couple on me, just
Mhm.
for boss fights mostly. The janky ass hitboxes are a real big pain in the ass. Like you can't really tell how close you are to something, and
Nope.
there's no good feedback about when you've hit it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then with the bosses especially, I don't know how well you figured this out, but they have to be in some sort of like exhausted or idle animation to even be hittable,
Yeah,
but they
I
don't
didn't figure
change
that out for the
visually
first one
very
at
much.
all. I only
Yeah.
figured that out fighting Flibby. I didn't figure that out for the first one
Yeah, the
at all.
first
I
one it
just
was
kept
the same
running
thing.
at him
You
and
had to attack
attacking,
or
and
you
I
had to
couldn't
run.
figure out why it wasn't working.
Yeah. We're so spoiled nowadays. Like enemies will literally like change color completely if they to
Man,
telegraph that you can hit them now.
this was PlayStation 1. That shit was happening back then too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
that's
not
true.
really
You got
much
that
of
in
an
Super
excuse.
Nintendo.
Yeah, that's true. Like I'm thinking about the Super Metroid, the like guys
Yeah.
who like jump up and kick you, and then they're
Hmm.
hittable for a couple of seconds. Even that, they change color. But in this,
Yep.
it's just like you have to know that a certain animation is the time where you can strike.
Yep.
All other times, you just get hit yourself.
I will say the music in this game is actually pretty chill. Like
I like it a lot.
Yeah?
It's very chill, yeah.
that era of gaming always had like good music like this.
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good when I got into the Flibby fight and no one had finished the race yet. I was like, okay, maybe I hadn't super fucked this up. But
I got really
Right.
scared because I lost my. I did 2 hits on Flibby, and then I lost. I got hit again because I got too close. I was just trying to force Flibby to attack. I don't even
Yeah.
know if that matters. But I got hit, and then I wasn't able to pick up any of the gems or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh great.
I'm pretty sure it does matter. I baited them into attacking me for the last run that I did. And then
That's what I was
came back
trying to
and beat it,
do, but I didn't know if it didn't feel like it ever triggered off of it. It'll always be way later.
yeah, well, so it's also like there's only one attack that he does where he goes through them in order. So the first time you hit him, he does his swing and then he gets tired. The second time he pounds the ground and then he does a swing and then he gets tired. And then the third one he does this other weird thing and then he does the ground pound. Then he takes one swing and gets tired. But like I only figured that out the second. I think I only took two. I don't remember how many times I did that fight. I think it was only twice. It might have been more. I might have blacked out.
No, it was twice. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. If I'd finished on the first one, if the fight mechanics had been a little better.
I got stuck in the first boss. Like I beat it on my second try, but
Yeah,
I was
me
trying
too.
to get away from it. I got stuck in him. I'm like, okay, well, okay.
Yep. I had a couple of occasions. I think the first boss might have been one of them where like I I got hit, I regained control of my character, and there was already a hitbox overlapping me, so I just lost the rest of my gems and died.
Yeah.
I came out of a room once, and there was some worm motherfucker just hanging out there waiting to kill me.
There were definitely a few big lava deaths as well, because, like,
Yep.
the lava
Yep.
was meant to be that you, like, bounced it, lost your gems and whatever, and, like, you at least had a little bit of time to jump out, but there were a couple where, like, I think both of you had
just
it, where
fall
you got,
in.
like, you almost,
Yeah.
like, got clipped under a platform or something, and that was it, insta-death.
Yep.
I had one insta death where I just straight up died.
Yep.
Very, very strange game. Also, just the fact I found it really annoying. Just like, hey, we're running through this room for 5 seconds and going in the door, and then there's like a 3 second loading screen.
Yep. You gotta
Yeah.
fucking watch him waddle his ass across the screen
Yeah.
every time.
But I mean, it does look nice. It does sound nice, but I definitely won't. Like, I played the same thing that you all played. You both finished way faster than me, by the way. I had a lot more trouble with the controls and stuff, but yeah, and that's what I would not go back to this one. I'm okay with history having forgotten about this one.
Yep. It seems this is the kind of game that, like, I bet someone could make a really fun ROM hack of, but playing the original is no good.
Yeah, if you like fix the controls and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This would be.
Yeah, for sure.
It seems like a Spyro game, or like you said, Crash Bandicoot. Like it's that classic. You can collect things throughout. What's the other game? I think Banjo Kazooie feel almost with collecting this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just bad controls. You fix those, and this game is actually probably pretty decent.
For sure.
Alrighty, so bracket implications there. Majarkin, you're now waiting for the loser of a match that's I don't know
Scheduled
if
tomorrow.
all of the games are happening tomorrow, but Vi, do you know if all the games are happening tomorrow?
Oh, I just assumed that, but
Okay,
I
cool.
guess I never actually formally asked. Now that you say that,
I've generally been assuming people are scheduling with that in mind, but so yeah, tomorrow, Jarkin, you'll know who you're facing off against, either Vi or Worm. I guess maybe there's still not enough to really go on, but do you have one that you'd rather face or rather not, or?
I think the games that we play matter. We're going to best of 3, right? The losers round 3 is
Yes.
best of 3. Yeah, it's the games that we play. I feel more than who, because I think everyone, like even in the round, like everyone, you get a game they're good at, they're gonna crush you. I mean, I know in our groups, Download crushed me on a couple, of games. So, and then I think I had like 1 or 2 where I did the opposite.
Yeah.
So
You had
it's really game dependent.
for
For sure, yeah.
So I don't care which one, because it's going to be the RNG on the game, because either of them could beat me, just depending on the game. So
True.
Fair. Cool. Anything else to add, anyone? Any more thoughts on Croc?
It's a huge croc.
Any last words?
We'll just forget this game exists again for the next how
Yep.
many years? Yep. All right. Cool.
Until the next tournament when someone else has to play it.
and then we can sit back and laugh at them.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alright, with all that said then, I will send a raid over to some Skyward Sword rando? I think Skyward Sword rando. Mel and Mario have a tournament coming up, and Mel was in the mystery tournament, has been around for most of it. Mario's still in, so we can yell at Mario in the upcoming matches. What I will say is, on every other time I've done this, I've forgotten to hit the button. Okay, I've done the thing. Go and follow the runners. Great races. The tournament is... This has been, like, incredible, and I'm sure we will do a lot more mystery stuff coming up soon. At which point, if people are streaming it, we'll want to be following them for it. And, of course, thank you to Vi for joining me on commentary. And, yeah, go say hi to Mel. Go wish him luck on the co-op Skyward Sword rando with Mario. And I'll catch everyone soon.